Coming to you live this week from the Beltline in Atlanta, Georgia, I'm your host, Kelley, and if you think you're a normal person, welcome to the Normal Person Podcast.
Some people act like normal's a four-letter word, but most of us want to be normal. To sit and talk for a bit about it, whatever it is. Are you okay today to press play? Is there any other way to be normal?
Serious disclaimer, listeners. Do not listen to this week's episode on an empty stomach, because we're about to talk to passing strangers and ask them to make an impossible, hypothetical decision. If you suddenly found yourself on death row with one day left to live, what would you choose for your last meal and why?
Ain't even gonna lie to you. I'm gonna do Waffle House hash browns.
I'm not gonna lie, I would probably go for dessert. Yeah, probably want some ice cream or like a crepe or something.
Weird, but my a whole fried fish hard and macaroni with it.
I'm gonna go with the most, food for the more. I give me a molcajete bowl, the Mexican bowl, with everything in it. You know what I'm saying?
Before we jump into our first food-centric conversation of the day, I want you to take a moment and think about what your all-time favorite meal actually is. What is it about that meal that makes you crave it for special occasions? When did you first start liking it in the first place? And, most importantly, if you found yourself suddenly on death row with one day to live, would it still be the same meal you would choose? Interestingly enough, as you're about to hear with a lot of our guests we chat with in today's episode, many people's choice for their last meal is not always the same choice they have for their favorite meal. And the reasons for that contradiction will surprise you more than you think, just like it did to me when we were recording.
What your name is again?
Malika.
So I'm going to ask you some questions that I already asked you off camera, but just so people can get to know you, you're the first guest today.
Yay.
So what do you do?
I'm a surgical tech. Yeah.
Oh, how do you like that?
I like it a lot.
Yeah?
Yeah. It's pretty cool. Like, you pretty much get this, like, any type of surgery you can think of, I've probably done except for hearts.
Brains?
Yeah.
What's the craziest one you've ever done? I know you've trained professionally for this.
I guess, I'll just say, I don't know, I guess trauma would be intense, but you get used to it.
You've done like gunshot wounds and stuff? Wow.
Yeah, but it got to the point where I don't get, like, you know how you get like a rush from stuff?
Yeah.
Like after a while, I stopped getting that rush and I'm like, okay, maybe I should just do something a different specialty.
Yeah. Your adrenaline is like
yeah, my
all the way
adrenaline
down.
doesn't go up unless they're about to like die.
Wow.
But because I got so used to it.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So let's transition seamlessly into today's question, which is, do you have a favorite meal or food or
I do.
anything? Tell me about it.
People laugh at me, but because I don't know, I think it counts, but I like anything with rice.
Anything.
Yeah, because it's just so like it could be diverse. Like you can mix anything with rice. I just like it. I know it's like super simple, but I like stuff with rice. I
So
like
just, is there a particular kind of rice?
I love this Haitian dish that has, I forgot, it's like called like legume something.
Yeah.
That's delicious. That has
Okay.
rice in it.
Okay.
And it has like meat and vegetables. Just, I don't know, sushi.
How often do you think you have rice?
Oh man, I'll probably at least have it twice a week if I could. Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of food that has rice in it, now that I think about it. But I've never thought, it's just interesting.
It's not really a thing, but I do like it. You could just mix it in with your meat, and then you can put the sauce on top. Like,
oh, the yum yum.
Yeah, you can just put more soy sauce, anything. Like, it tastes good.
So, like, just from the get-go as a kid, you were like, I'm all in on rice. That's crazy.
I know it's weird, but I like it.
It is weird,
Different.
but everyone has their own things. Well, let me ask you this question, and this is kind of my little flip in today's topic, but let's say, hypothetically, you were sentenced of a crime that were to put you on death row.
Yeah.
You're going to get executed tomorrow.
What's my last meal?
What's your last meal?
I'm not gonna lie, I would probably go for dessert.
Really?
Yeah, I'll probably want some ice cream or like a crepe or something.
No rice, though?
It's my last meal.
That's true. But you wouldn't want to taste the rice.
How much food can I have?
I think in Georgia you get $46.
Okay, I'll have some rice. And some crepes and some ice cream.
Quick footnote here, listener, because I'm very wrong. I did some actual research on this topic while editing and found out that there actually is no last meal in Georgia. Prisoners on death row get whatever is served in the cafeteria on the day of their scheduled execution. However, in some states where the death penalty is still enforced, a last meal budget varies from $25 to $40. If you want to find out what it is in your state, click the link in the show notes. Now back to the show.
Okay, so rice, crepes, ice cream.
Oh man, that's a good question. What would I want? Maybe some soul food too.
Okay.
If I can throw that in there.
That rice dish you mentioned.
Yeah.
Is that on there?
Oh yeah. I might have a couple dish. Okay, I can't choose all that, but I would say try something I've never tried before. But then again, I want to enjoy it.
That's true.
So.
Yeah, you don't
knowing
want to be
myself,
disappointed.
I won't dive in unless I know I'm gonna like it.
Yeah.
Like, you know how you can smell something, you know you're gonna like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the only time I would, I guess, try something different. But
it would be kind of hard on death row. That's
right?
like a difficult decision.
Yeah, and I don't want anything to give me like the bubble guts before I'm about to die. I know that's probably crazy.
Honestly, what's worse than dying? Having an upset tummy. And
while you're going out.
I have IBS, so I'd never even thought about that as a possibility.
See?
All right, so last question. You said you like rice dishes.
Our new friend Malik chose her last meal based on familiar favorites rather than new experiences. And who can blame her? As you'll hear with our next guest, comfort food appears to be a common genre people choose when answering this question.
Well, Amarkion, thank you for being a guest. What drew you in?
I'm not gonna lie, I like it like this because it's organic. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're right outside the Beltline. It's right here on the ground.
Yeah.
You know, like, it's just real.
Yeah.
And I like things like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all aren't out here trying to sell anything. You're just sharing everything.
Yeah.
So I feel that, you know?
I appreciate that. And
Yeah.
you're the type of person that I hope to draw in by doing this.
Yeah.
I like people that want to share their lived experience and open up and share themselves with the world for a few seconds.
Yeah.
I don't know if I asked you this. I did not. What are you doing out here? Just like hanging out?
I'm with my brother,
Okay.
Stefan.
For fun?
Soul brother. We just like to come out here and brainstorm, do our magic, visualize, support, vent, you know. We've been coming here, so many years before Atlanta was really like gentrified in certain areas, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
we would come here and just kick it and just like connect with ourselves and get away from the race.
Yeah.
You know, like me and him live a pretty alternative lifestyle to where we don't have the traditional like setup situations. So we kind of been like a bad boys, you know.
In like a cool way, though.
The coolest way.
You also just a chill person, so I feel like I want to jump into the topic today and just ask you.
Yeah.
Do you have a favorite meal, a favorite food?
French fries, anything potatoes.
Okay.
French fries, loaded potatoes, regular baked potatoes.
Okay.
Yeah, potatoes is like my shit.
Potatoes.
Yeah.
No, you don't discriminate.
No.
Okay.
I like them all shapes and sizes.
So you said French fries first.
Yeah.
What's your favorite, like, French fry, period?
Oh my God. It depends, right? Because if we're talking about fast food, we're talking about restaurants, we're talking about sports bars.
Let me frame it this way.
Okay.
I was going to ask you this later on in the interview, but you forced my hand here. Let's say you're on death row, and you have to pick your final meal. What French fry are you ordering?
Oh shit. Ain't even gonna lie to you. I'm gonna do Waffle House hash browns.
Really?
Yeah.
Dude, how do you do it? Smother, cover, diet?
It depends on the mood because sometimes I'll get it like everything. I'ma always get a triple. Hash brown. But sometimes I just like to keep it simple. Triple hash brown, some salt. I'm chilling.
Okay.
You know?
Triple hash brown.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to ask you, in your own words, when you're eating potatoes, what does it taste like? Like, why do you like it? I feel like I forgot to ask that. But, like, is it a texture thing? It is a flavor thing? Like, what is it about potatoes?
Well, I'm sure a few people can relate to this. I'm a hypersensitive person. So sensory is everything. Texture is everything, too.
Okay.
I ain't gonna lie to you. I like my potatoes like I like my women. Soft. like soft, plush. You can have a fry that's like got some density to it, got some flavor to it, you know. So when I'm sinking my teeth into a potato or having a plate of fries or something like that, it's like I'm making love to my type of woman.
Now that you have that savory and delicious description of French fries, let's turn our attention to our next two guests. They both have successful careers in the real estate industry of Atlanta. I'll let them introduce themselves shortly, but I find it interesting how this theme of comfort food and nostalgia keeps winding its way through so many different conversations with random, normal people.
First of all, thank you for being guests.
Thank you.
You're most welcome.
Tell me your names.
I'm Christopher John.
Christopher John.
And I'm Brittany.
Christopher John and Brittany. What brings you all? First of all, that drink looks delicious. What are we having today?
It is a coconut water.
Is it alcoholic?
No, I don't
Okay,
drink. Yeah.
okay.
It's absolutely amazing though, refreshing.
It is
Yeah.
good.
Because it is hot.
Yes.
Indeed hot.
This is an audio format, so people won't be able to even know what we're experiencing right now. But how would you describe the weather right now?
Hot AF.
Hot AF.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad that y'all stopped by. What are y'all doing on the Beltline today?
Catching up. We're in the same industry, so yeah, just catching up.
What industry is that?
Real estate.
I was in
estate.
sync.
That wasn't sync.
You owe me a soda.
Yeah,
No,
yeah,
I couldn't even
that's crazy.
distinguish it there.
We couldn't even do that if we like coordinated or practiced
No.
that. I would let you sell me a house. If I could afford it right now in my life, I would be like, let's do
Let's do it.
Let's
do it.
It's the voice, right?
It's the voice. The voice is helpful.
And the delivery.
You're not experiencing what I'm experiencing yet. You will when you listen to this.
Okay.
But dude, your voice is so crisp right now.
Oh, wow.
It's really coming
It's the
in.
crisp drink.
It is.
It's the coconut water.
Who doesn't tell you that, though? Like, you get the most voice compliments out of anyone I know.
I do.
You've got a nice voice too.
Thank you.
I've told her that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I told her that. We're talking death row meal.
Yes, death row meal. It doesn't have to be a literal death row meal,
Okay.
but I'm talking, what's that one meal your go-to?
Lingua tacos with Valentina's and Chile's Torreado.
Great hot sauce choice.
Yeah, oh my gosh. I want to go there now.
Now.
Oh my gosh. What is it about that specifically? I know it's hard to food description's like one of the hardest things to do in language, but like someone listening to this, why does it make your mouth salivate?
It's going to be a very targeted answer, and it's if you've eaten chitlins before. Yeah, it is the same people that eat chitlins are the same people, in my opinion, that eat lingua tacos. It's a comfort food depending on where you grew up. I grew up in the South. That's it. That is one of the reasons why I love lingua tacos.
Do you have a memory where you remember having them for the first time, or a special occasion where you're like, this is my favorite meal moving forward?
Probably when my great grandmother made it for one of the first Christmases that I can remember. And that's kind of like what I associate it with.
That's such a cool Christmas meal.
Fantastic,
for
because
sure.
you know it's not just going to be me. I'm going to have my family members around me, because when we bought a big bucket of chitlins, it's not just necessarily for everyday meal. It's when family comes through.
Right.
You want to feed a lot of people, so it's an associative memory with my great grandmother and Christmas.
That's amazing.
And that's one of the reasons why I think it segues into lingua tacos. I don't know.
Yeah. No, that's incredible.
Yeah.
Wow.
So you eat chitlins, too?
Absolutely.
With like what do you put
With
on
hot sauce. By itself.
Wow.
With hot
Very
sauce.
much so.
By itself.
And I mean, I'm from the West Coast. They eat it out there, too. Just me personally.
Where are you
it
from
would
on the
be
West Coast?
California.
Okay.
Yeah. So it would be seafood. I give me some king crab legs, some corn. I like mashed potatoes, so give me some fucking mashed potatoes on the side.
Yeah.
I want stuff and some shrimp. Give me a pound of shrimp.
Yeah.
Maybe a fried catfish.
Okay.
That's what I want.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is some seafood.
That is.
Yeah. So you're
Some broccoli.
you're a big fan of like.
Mark my words, listeners. I vow to make chitlins tacos a Christmas tradition in my family moving forward every single year. And with that in mind, I want you to also hear how our next guest's family traditions play a role in his choice for his last meal.
Okay, so I'm gonna ask you today because I want to give you as much time as you want.
Okay.
But about today's question, because you're the type of person I don't need to ask too many icebreakers. Like you're a very relaxed, chill person. So today's topic's all about food. Do you have a favorite meal?
I do. I do, and it's weird, but it's so basic.
Please don't say rice.
No.
Okay, thank you.
It's a whole fried fish hard.
Okay.
And macaroni with it.
Okay. Wow. So with the macaroni too.
Yes.
Fried fish hard. What is that? Break that down.
So it's like the old time when they took a whole fish and just dump it in there and it's got the crust around it.
And
I like that.
With the buns.
Yeah,
and
everything. Yeah. When
good.
I grew up in Philadelphia, we wouldn't have the head, but everything else they would just fry it in there hard, come out, and it's so good. The only problem when you're young, the bones, but I'm okay with the bones. You don't get fish with bones anymore, but it didn't bother me when I was young.
Do you have a particular fish you like?
Not the one that's fried hard, but I do love cod. I love
cod.
Yeah.
So like that white fish.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So and then you said side of macaroni.
Side
Are we
of macaroni.
talking mac and cheese or what kind of?
So with that mac and cheese, I can even do the shells out the box. It's just that cheesy taste with it for some reason. I just love it. Yeah.
So this is like a nostalgic thing for you too.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting. So let me ask you this question. This is kind of, I've never really done this when we've recorded, but I'm kind of like flipping this question with a surprise question.
Yeah.
Let's just say, hypothetically, you blink your eyes right now, you're on death row, okay? They're saying you got to pick your last meal.
Oh, okay.
Okay?
Yes.
So would the fish and macaroni make it? Or
it probably would be if my last meal.
Really?
It probably would be. If it wasn't that, it'd probably be lasagna. It's one of the two.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay. So lasagna is in the runner for like being a contender.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's interesting. Those are two like completely different things. One's like kind of like soul food, like, and then the other
was,
well, I don't even know what lasagna is.
I
delicious.
think it's Italian, I think, right?
Yeah, it's Italian, but I'm like genre-wise,
yeah.
Like, is there anything else that's like it?
No, not really.
Yeah, like what in the world?
Yeah.
Someone listening to this, what would you say, where can they go to experience this like delicacy that you're describing? Where would you send someone if they were like, I really want to try that meal?
I haven't met it. No one here. I haven't ate here where I can get fish like that I would like it. So
it has to be homemade.
Yeah,
so they'd got to come to your house.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. When I lived in, I don't know anymore, but when I lived in Philadelphia, fried fish was all over the place. And it's probably was here too, but I haven't been here to say where it was, even though I've been here.
So when I think of fried fish, I always think of when you're in the South and you're traveling and you see like those like country buffets.
Yeah.
Is that what Philadelphia?
Nah, see,
okay.
when we used to, and they didn't even dump it. We didn't even, when I was little, they didn't have like a fryer, they dumped it. They used to cook it right on the skillet, right on top of the, my mom and them, cast iron skillet and cook it.
Dude,
yeah,
and
my grandmother.
Those flavors.
Yeah,
man.
it gets all of it.
Do you have her cast iron?
Nah, I don't.
Okay.
Yeah. It got lost with my dad. He lost a lot of my grandma's stuff, but we would have kept it because she kept it for a long time.
Yeah, those flavors.
Those you can't get rid of, right?
You can't. Yeah. Well, I appreciate you talking.
Now, if you're anything like me, you might be thinking the same thing that I was near the end of this particular recording session. How far away am I from an all-you-can-eat buffet? And if you're already typing that into your phone, I encourage you to stick around for the last guest of today's episode, who I've been casually talking to since I first started recording this show on the Beltline a few months ago. He's a lifelong Atlantean who's seen the city transform drastically in just his lifetime, and he's always kind, supportive, and in a great mood when we do happen to cross paths on the Beltline. Well, after a few failed attempts, I finally persuaded him to be a guest on the show. And today he's sitting down to tell me not just about his favorite foods, but also why his Southern roots influence his last meal decision.
All right.
So, I know we've met before.
Oh, yeah.
But let's pretend for a second that we haven't.
Okay.
For the next 10 to 15 minutes.
Okay, no problem. No problem.
What's your name?
My first name is William.
William.
Yeah, they call me Will, a.k.a. Junior. So, you know, yeah.
Okay.
Born and raised from Atlanta, Georgia.
I've got some questions, but what brings you out to the Beltline today?
I always come to the Beltline just to see, you know, just a beautiful view, just good people. You know what I'm saying? Just enjoying humanity, just realizing like how good we really have it just for this. Sometimes it look like it's small, but it's not.
Yeah.
It mean more than that. So I'm just embracing it, man, and just come out here, man, and chill, man, you know, and put up and smoke, you know what I'm saying? And you know, and just
it's a great spot to let loose, let's say.
Yeah, yes it is. And it's very peaceful though.
And if you're in Atlanta and you're listening, I'm just gonna say, you know, if you're looking for a spot to hang out where the cops are not gonna bother you, it's a great spot. They do bother us every time we set up here, but they're usually pretty nice about it. So you've been in Atlanta for a while. I'm really interested to hear what you have to say. What do you think is your number one favorite meal of all time?
If I chose, like, from my childhood when I was growing up, it would be simple. Soul food. Because I grew up off, you know what I'm saying, that we
What do you mean by that?
Like collard greens, candy yams, chicken, or either you're going to do a country fried steak with it, or you're going to eat it, or you eat it with a, you know what I'm saying, Cornish hen, you got corn, you got to have the cornbread. So the cornbread go good, you know what I'm saying? So it's just like, then, most likely Kool-Aid or some type of punch you like to drink, or sweet tea. So, but yeah, like it was, peach cobbler. Man, I'm talking about, I miss them days, man. You know what I'm saying? I think I kind of stopped eating soul food when my grandma passed, so I don't eat as much.
Was she the main provider?
Oh, man, my grandma Margie was that dude. She was that woman. That woman. Like, I seen her used to make ice cream from scratch. It was a good experience, man. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, I never trade ever getting raised in the South. You know what I'm saying? I'm kind of glad that I am. You know what I'm saying? It taught me how to be a man. You know what I'm saying? It taught me how to, have morals and things like that, and, and appreciate. You know what I'm saying? So,
And the food is killer,
man, I'm
dude.
telling you, man.
When you go anywhere else, like, it sucks, man.
Yeah.
Except, okay.
I'm a burger man, too, though. I love burgers now.
Okay, so let me ask you this question. This will be the last question.
All right.
But kind of flip this. Let's say you're on death row. You're going to get executed tomorrow.
Yeah.
You have $100 budget. Is that fair? Is $100 fair? I feel like it's fair.
Yeah, it's fair.
For a meal.
For a meal, yeah. For your last meal, hell yeah.
$100 budget, what would you get? Because I would say you have unlimited. In that case, I'm like, why would you not get everything in the world?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, I ain't gonna lie, man. I'm gonna go with the most, food for the more. I get me a molcajete bowl, the Mexican bowl, the molcajete with everything in it. And then after that, I do me a nice salad, man. You know what I'm saying? Like a nice Caesar salad with all the good cucumbers, the grapeseed tomatoes and things like that. You know what I'm saying? The Parmesan cheese, Man, you got to get some dessert.
You do.
You got to get some dessert.
Why would you go out without it?
Exactly. You got to get some dessert. So I do me some, if I did a cake, it'd be red velvet. You know what I'm saying? I like the red velvet. I like the red, yes. I love the red velvet. So if I did a cake, I'd do a red velvet. And some ice cream, man, and a 24-ounce of bill. But I get a strong-ass IPA. For real.
You like Sweetwaters?
Oh, yeah, I love them. That's my favorite beer.
I love Sweetwater.
I love the Sweetwater Haze. I love the Sweetwater cheese.
And that's a wrap for this week's episode of the Normal Person Podcast, where we've explored the favorite foods and meals of a few everyday normal people. From comforting nostalgia meals, soul food, crispy French fries, to fried fish whole. Each last meal shared today serves as a delicious reminder that food is more than just sustenance in our lives. It's about memories, connection, and embracing the simple pleasures that we get to enjoy every single day. As always, I want to give a big shout out to all the incredible guests on this week's episode. Thank you for opening up with me about your favorite foods. If you enjoyed today's episode, please consider subscribing and leaving us a review on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. And if you aren't already following us on social media, check out the show notes where you can follow us on your platform of choice. We post daily clips, upcoming episode teasers, and much, much more. Until next time, may you find inspiration in the stories we all share as normal people. This is Kelley Boston signing off. Eat well, save your life, and we'll see you next week.